Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. This week we'll be looking at visual aids for presentation. Now before we begin, I would like to remind all of you that for both speeches, informative and persuasive, visual aids are compulsory. I repeat, visual aids are compulsory. Now, before we begin, I think at this moment, what you have in mind is Mr. E. I think um, visual aid means PowerPoint presentation. So it means that everyone has to prepare a PowerPoint presentation for both speeches. So we'll look at types of visual aids and then you will decide whether PowerPoint is going to be your visual aid or something else. Now, what are visual aids? Visual aids are materials used to assist your presentation at your workplace. However, you must remember that visual aids cannot be the center of your presentation. And I have to remind all of you about this, especially when it comes to your delivery of your speeches. Often I experience students when they presented their speeches, they did not become the center of the presentation. Instead, the visual aids became the center of the presentation. So most of them will just shift to one corner and let everyone else focus on the PowerPoint presentation, for instance. The PowerPoint presentation is supposed to aid you or help you or assist you, but you are the star in your show, not your visual aid. So generally, they are to help the audience to understand the presentation better. Let us look at types of visual aids, yeah? Before that, we'll just look at why do we need visual aids. Number one is to hold the audience attention. When we talk about something that is visual, that means something that can be seen, something that can be experienced by the audience. Since your speech will be mainly on the spoken part of your language, listening can bore your audience down. So when you have visual aids, that can help them to maintain focus on your speech. Number two, to serve as memory aid or learning device. Sometimes when you are explaining on something that can be quite difficult to be understood just by listening to it, you need visual aid in order for you to depict whatever that you are trying to deliver. Third is to replace your speaking notes. And of course, the last one is to help indicate transitions. Now, let us look at types of visual aids. By having just a pie chart or a bar chart or an organography, this is a visual aid. Remember, your first speech, it is compulsory for you to have a chart or a graph or a table. So bear in mind, by just having that, since it is compulsory, you have fulfilled the minimum number of visual aid for a presentation. And that is one. Other than this, sometimes some people like to use PowerPoint or Prezi or Haiku Deck or even PDF in order for you to show your slides, maybe to show some points, some images, so on. In fact, you use your slide or your PowerPoint to include together your graph or a chart or your table. Now imagine this, you have your chart and you're using your chart or you're pasting your chart in a PowerPoint. So I will consider that you have used two visual aids. One is for the PowerPoint, the other one is for the chart. The third one is you can use audio and video. And most students like to use video. But just bear in mind, if you are given 5 minutes to present your speech, your video cannot be too long or even longer than the average time for a speech. If 5 minutes is meant for the speech, if your video is longer than 2.5 minutes, then I guess that is ineffective. So what you should do is to show a video only the part that you find significant to your speech. How long? It should be less than a minute or even less than 30 seconds. You decide. Other than that, you can even use handouts or even props. There was one time a student brought in cats, rabbits, because they're talking about them. And on top of that, you yourself can also be a visual aid. If, for example, your topic is about yoga and you are a yoga practitioner and you would like to demonstrate to people the kind of moves that you have in doing yoga, so you become the visual aid.